Hi guys, it's Dr. Britt here from Errol Street Chiropractic. Today I'm going to give you my top 3 tips to help you avoid injury when you're running. So if you are somebody who is starting to take up running during this lockdown period or has been thinking about it but unsure how to start, then stick around because I've got 3 tips to help you get started and avoid injury. So these 3 tips were actually given to me by an older gentleman who lives around my area, and he used to run professionally. And he noticed me one day when I'd started running and pulled me aside and said, I've got 3 tips for you. Just wait and listen up because these will really help you. So I thought, why not share them with you guys as well? So my number 1 tip to start with is before you even start running, look at your runners. So if you've got an older pair of runners, I highly suggest that you look at purchasing a new one if you are keen to get running. It's really important that you've got good supportive shoes when you are running. So making sure that if you already have a pair of runners but you're not sure if they're too old, having a look at the bottoms of the heel, looking how they're worn, looking at the bottom of the sole as well. A nice way of I notice when I need new shoes is that pattern on the bottom is quite worn and it doesn't have that proper support, and that's when it's a sign for me that I need new runners as well. But if you know, depending on how often you are running, they are something that probably needs to replace quite regularly as well. But yeah, just firstly, make sure you've got good supportive runners, and if your runners are quite old, I would highly suggest that you look at purchasing a new pair. Number 2, I always suggest when you are about to start running, and really for all your runs, try and run away from concrete and find an oval or an area with a lot of grass or a track and do most of your running on there. Concrete is really hard on your joints, and if you're running majority on concrete, it is going to be quite, you'll find that your knees or your ankles may get quite sore. So finding an oval or a track and using that as your way of starting your running. The other thing that I find really helpful to get started with running is doing more interval type training. So starting off with a walk, then a jog, and then a sprint. And then you can time it. So you could do like a minute walk, a minute jog, a minute sprint, and then you could do so many sets of them, and then you could increase the time. And that's a really good way of just working on your pace as well, but also just getting your kilometers in. And I find that's a really nice and gentle way of easing your body into running instead of just trying to go hard for 5Ks straight away. And my 3rd tip is stretching. Stretching is so important. So, just warming your body up before you go for your run, but what you do afterwards is so important for your recovery as well, especially when you are just starting out and you're trying to build yourself up. You will find that if you're not stretching, your glutes will be sore, your hips will be tight, and then that sometimes then can create some tightness into your lower back as well. So making sure that you're stretching quite regularly, but also having days off between your runs. So have a rest day, because you find that you get so much more out of your run if you've had that day off in between, especially as you are building up your pace as well. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you guys, and maybe has given you a little bit of a push into the direction to start running during this lockdown period, or it's just given you some food for thought if you are somebody who is running at the moment as well. If you do have any questions, comment down below. We always love to hear from you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.